Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. So it's game week 3, deadline decisions. In today's video, I'll go over my benching decisions, my captaincy choices. I've gone into a bit of detail on which options I think is the best ones, with some stats to help us out. And then I've got a decision with 2 transfers. Do I actually roll the transfer or do I sell Cole Palmer? Depends on his fitness. First of all, for my deadline decision for game week 3 is the benching dilemma on Anderson and Gooey, but I am pretty much set on Anderson probably being number 1 on my bench. And I don't think Gooey will start, so I think I'm going to have Anderson because there's more chance of him getting DEFCON points and actually getting 3 or 4 points potentially. And there is a small chance that he keeps a clean sheet as well, so that could be an option if Cole Palmer isn't fit. And potentially I could roll my transfer, and if Palmer starts, great. If he doesn't, then Anderson comes in for him. Because if Chelsea don't have Cole Palmer, potentially they won't be as good attacking wise. Yes, they scored 5 goals against West Ham, so that is a bit silly of me to say. But also in the last 2 seasons, Cole Palmer has been pretty much the key player of getting goals and assists for Chelsea. So with him out the side, I don't know how we will play without him. So the 2 decisions that I need to make for deadline is either use a transfer and sell Cole Palmer, and which player do I captain. So let's have a look at the updated exit rankings, and Cole Palmer, Watkins, Rodgers and Fernandes are at risk. Cole Palmer is the most likely to be at risk. If he isn't fit, then I potentially will sell him. The other 3, I'm probably going to wait another game week. Aston Villa have got some good fixtures coming up, so I think I'll probably hold on to them. And Bruno Fernandes is at home against Burnley. I don't think it's the transfer that you need to make at this moment. If he doesn't do anything against Burnley in game week 3, he'll be on the chopping block. He's got Man City in game week 4, and I think if he's not done anything, then I'll probably sell him in game week 4. Because the last thing I want to do is spend 9 million on somebody that's only getting me DEFCON points and missing penalties. And there is a 1% chance of to get another penalty that Kuna and Bemo step up and saying they want to take it. So Bruno Fernandes might potentially be on the next penalty. He probably will be after that, but I think maybe they just change it for one game. So now let's just look at my shortlist, and really I just focus on the midfielders in Kudus, Semenyo, Gakpo, Estavo and Sarr, because if I sell Palmer this game week, one of them 5 players is that I'm going to be buying. Estavo is a good replacement for Palmer potentially, but if Chelsea sign Garnacho and Simmons before the deadline next week, he'll probably potentially not be starting in game week 4. One of them 2 could be playing in game week 4, and his minutes could be a little bit less. So here are the transfer options that I've got for game week 1. In option number 1, what I really want to do is roll the transfer. If he's fit, then Cole Palmer will be staying in my side, and I'll be rolling the transfer and having 3 for game week 4. But option 2 is still a possibility. If Palmer isn't fit for game week 3, then I might sell him because he won't probably be fit for game week 4 potentially as well, and I don't really want to run that risk of losing 0.4 million on Cole Palmer in the next few weeks and holding on to him just for a chance that he might play in game week 4 and then regret that he's not actually going to start in game week 4 as well, and I've holding on for him for no reason. But I'll be honest, all of them options have a bit of a negative, and I'm not 100% sure I really want to buy them. The 2 of the 4 players that I've been thinking about potentially buying instead of Cole Palmer if he isn't fit. First of all, we've got the expected goal involvement for the first 2 games. So we've got 0.9 for Kudos, 0.75 for Semenyo, 0.13 for Gakpo and 0.59 for Sarr. All 4 of these players could potentially change roles or get less minutes before the deadline for game week 4. So we've got Kudos and Tottenham have been linked to a lot of attackers, and who knows what position that'll be. So maybe he plays on the right wing, or maybe he plays in the number 10 role moving forward, but that might change how we view him. And then we've got Semenyo and Clivert played 66 minutes in the Carabao Cup, so I think he'll be more likely to play again. And when Clivert's on the field, does Semenyo get pushed out wide and Semenyo play more of a central role and have more of the shots and have more of the set pieces, penalties and stuff like that? So what does that do for Semenyo getting chances? Probably a bit less. He'll probably have a little bit less chances. He'll probably go to Clivert, who's more in the centre, and he'll be probably the guy that's setting him up a bit more. He will always have the shots, but I don't think he'll be as central as he was the first 2 games. Then we've got Gakpo, and the deadline for the transfer window closes on Monday, so it's just after the game week 3 finishes, but weeks before the game week 4 starts because we've got an international break. But before game week 4, we might have a different look on Gakpo. Who knows if Liverpool and Newcastle can come to an agreement with Isaac, and if he signs, who knows what happens with Gakpo, because the new signing Ekatike will probably play as well, so maybe he gets pushed out onto the left so Isaac can play up front. So Gakpo's minutes might not be as assured as they have been in the first 2 game weeks, so we might view him a lot differently in game week 4. So for me, I'm going to wait until game week 4 with Gakpo, see what happens on the transfer window. So if they don't buy Isaac, I think I'll be buying him in game week 4, because with that there's also the problem that they're playing Arsenal this game, so I don't think it's the best entry point. 2 fixtures after against Burnley and Everton, them are the ones that you want to buy him for. So if they don't sign Isaac, I think everybody will be wanting to buy him in game week 4, and that'll be me included. And I think I'll be potentially selling one of Bruno Fernandes or Rodgers in game week 4, so Gakpo could be the guy that I actually go and buy if they don't buy Isaac. So then we're down to 3 options in Kudus, Semenyo and Sarr. As you can see from the goals and assist stats from last season, Kudus only got 9 goals and assists, while the other players got 15 and 18 goals and assists. So he nearly got half of each of them for goals. Yes, Tottenham have got some good fixtures, but I don't really see him as a really good option to have for an FPL asset. He's still a half decent option, but I don't think I want to buy him. I think for an FPL asset at 6.5 million, I think there's better players to actually get goals, and his expected goal involvement is terrible. Even this season or last season, it wasn't the best. He's more of a supplier, so I'm ruling him out, even though they've got a really good set of fixtures. So then we're down to Semenyo and Sarr, and then I looked at the previous fixtures, and as you can see, Semenyo's played 4 times against Tottenham and he's got no goals or assists. And I was really surprised with Sarr's numbers against Aston Villa. He's played them 7 times and he's got 7 goals and 3 assists. Where it's like Mo Salah numbers, where he's getting as many goals and assists as he's playing. He's actually got more goals and assists than he's actually played against them. So he's one of them players that's probably going to score against them. So it swung me to start looking into Sarr. And then I remembered that I was potentially going to use a free hit in game week 6 anyway. And when I looked into Sarr's fixtures, it worked out really well. So for the transfer decisions, I think Sarr's edging it, and I think he's a 70% chance if Cole Palmer isn't fit that he'll be the one that I'm going to buy, and then it's Semenyo in second place. Kudus and Gakpo, I think I'm waiting until next game week and see what they do in the game week 3. And if I do feel like I have to sell Bruno Fernandes or Rodgers, one of Kudus, Semenyo or Gakpo will potentially come in that game week. So I just wanted to go into the fixture ticker, and I've highlighted Crystal Palace and Bournemouth fixtures. And as you can see in the next 5 or 6 games, Bournemouth do edge it. But as I've alluded to, Sarr's record against Aston Villa is really good. So that fixture in game week 3 doesn't look as hard as it did on paper when I've known the numbers in the previous games that he's played against them. And if I do use my 3 hit chip in game week 6 and I don't have to have that Liverpool fixture, I can actually get rid of Sarr in game week 6 where he's got Liverpool, and I could potentially buy a Bournemouth player in then, and I'll have a better idea who the best Bournemouth midfielder is to buy. So my plan is to potentially buy Sarr instead of Semenyo. Do let me know in the comment section if you think I'm getting this right, or you think I'm going off the path and you think I'm making a wrong decision. So that's the ball for my game week 3 decisions. It's captaincy choice, but all 3 of them are expected to take penalties. Expected goal involvement for the next game, Fernandes is ahead, then it's Cole Palmer, then it's Salah. So Fernandes got 8 goals, 12 assists. That's 20 goals and assists last season. Then we've got Cole Palmer, they got 15 goals, 10 assists in the Premier League with 25 goals and assists last season. Then we've got Salah, that's way ahead. He's got 29 goals and 18 assists last season, 47 goals and assists in the Premier League. That's an expectation that he actually gets more than a goal or an assist every game. Then we've got the expected goals for the sides that they're playing. So Man United are expected to score 2 goals against Burnley. Chelsea is expected to get 1.89 against Fulham. And we've got Liverpool that are expected to get 1.48 against Arsenal. So again, it's Fernandes that's first, then it's Palmer, then it's Salah. So then we've got the previous games that these players have played against them sides. So Bruno Fernandes has played Burnley 6 times and he's got 1 goal, which isn't that great. Then we've got Cole Palmer that's played Fulham 4 times and he's got 2 goals. Then we've got Salah that's played Arsenal 18 times, he's got 11 goals and 4 assists. So Salah is ahead with that again, and he's consistent at scoring goals and assists against Arsenal, so that isn't putting me off. Then we've got the clean sheet odds of the teams that they're playing. So Burnley have got a 14% chance of keeping a clean sheet. Fulham have got a 15% chance of keeping a clean sheet, and Arsenal got a 23% chance of keeping a clean sheet. So Burnley are more likely to concede. Then it's closely followed by Chelsea against Fulham, and then Arsenal against Liverpool. Arsenal are more likely to keep a clean sheet. And then lastly, we've got the expected points for game week 3 right now. So Bruno Fernandes is ahead with 7.38 points that he's potentially going to get against Burnley. Then I've put a question mark against Palmer because we don't know his fitness or whatever, so it's really hard to predict what he'll actually get. So these algorithms don't know right now. But then we've got Salah in second place with 6.27 points against Arsenal. So when I'm just thinking about this game week in isolation, Burnley is the easiest fixture, so Bruno Fernandes does make sense. Then we've got Salah, who's got a really hard fixture, but he has done well in the last few seasons against Arsenal. And he's also the player that always gets goals and assists. He's well ahead when it's goals and assists last season. So it's a toss-up. Do you go with the player that's playing the easier fixture, or do you go with the player that's actually more chance of getting goals and assists, but he's playing the harder side? So with all that in mind, I think these are my captaincy rankings right now. I think I'm actually going to go with Salah as captain again. I know it's pretty boring and he hasn't done that well in the first 2 game weeks. He's actually scored a late goal in the first game week and then he got an assist in the last 2nd game week, but he's consistent about getting points, and I do think he's the best option right now because I'll be honest, I wasn't that impressed with United's attack in the 2nd game week against Fulham, and I wasn't impressed with where he finished the game in the second half. He looked more deeper and I didn't really buy him for 9 million to have a deeper role, and I expected him to be closest to the box making them key passes. So Bruno Fernandes has gone down in my expectations. So I do think I'll go with the trusted Salah and go against Bruno Fernandes at home against Burnley and go with the harder fixture at home against Arsenal. I think a lot of managers that have Bruno Fernandes will go for Bruno Fernandes. So there we have it for my deadline decisions. I've got Salah as captain at the moment. I'm rolling the transfer and keeping Palmer. If I get an update that Cole Palmer isn't fit, then he will be sold potentially. I could actually just roll the transfer and keep Cole Palmer for 1 game week and potentially sell him just ahead of game week 4 because I'm not that against actually starting Anderson for game week 3 and then actually having a better transfer in game week 4 where I've got a better decision of who I want to actually buy, because I don't really want to buy Gakpo and then he actually gets pushed out the side. And the same thing with Kudus. I know they've spent a lot of money, but they're potentially Tottenham going to buy another winger in the next few days. So who knows what happens with Kudus. I think he will still start, but it's still uncertain what happens with the formation and stuff like that. And then this is my side. If Cole Palmer isn't fit, I'll be buying Sarr and he's away against Aston Villa. But his record is pretty good, and with Eze leaving, I think he'll be even more of a key player for Crystal Palace and getting in the goals and assists and potentially taking a few set pieces from now on. Let me know in the comments section section if you think I'm doing this right and getting star. And then lastly, I've made a change on my bench and I've actually put Gooey as number 1 on my bench this time. I am a bit uncertain which way I will go on this one because Gooey actually played in the Carabao Cup game. He started, he got a goal, and then I think there's a potential chance that he starts in the next one. Maybe not, but I think with him scoring a goal, maybe the Sunderland do feel like he's got the fitness now, so maybe he starts. And that's made me think about, maybe do I go with the attacking play and go with the upside of potentially getting a goal or an assist, or do I go with Anderson, where I don't think it's going to keep a clean sheet against Chelsea, and then just hope that it gets DEFCON points to help me get an extra 3 points? I'm not too sure about that one, so let me know in the comment section. Do you think I should go with Gooey as number 1 choice on my bench, or do you think I should go with Anderson? Let me know in the comment section. I do need your help to make this decision because I keep changing my mind all the time. So there we have it for Game Week 3 deadline decisions. What do you think of my decisions? Do you think I'm doing it wrong? Do you think I'm making the wrong decision on captain? Let me know in the comments. And do let me know with Cole Palmer, do you think I'm making a wrong decision, potentially rolling the transfer? Is it better to add somebody that's going to start in the next 2 game weeks and not that worry that he's going to drop in price and he's not going to play? So maybe that is the decision, but let me know in the comments. The England squad will be picked on Friday as well. So if he isn't in the England squad for Friday's announcement, then potentially they've told Tuchel that he isn't fit. So if that happens, I potentially will sell him in Game Week 3. It is a bit of a toss-up. Do I actually buy somebody that I'm not 100% sure on, or do I actually just roll the transfer and make a better decision next game week and accept a bit of a loss on Cole Palmer? Anyway, I'm signing off and I'll see you tomorrow for a team selection video. Goodbye.